We will start because we are linking the program to the media. You know, the media operates on time. If they've scheduled an interview or whatever at a certain time, they have to start. We've already delayed them a lot, and we apologize because some of you arrived here very early in the morning. When I arrived here, there were other people that were already here. We apologize profusely. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. I am so happy. It's beautiful. Minister, it's beautiful, no? Without wasting time, we will, there is an audio recording, but all of us will sing. I request all of us to stand and sing the African Union and South African anthems. They will follow. There's a recording. Are we ready? Buthelezi from the South African Council of Churches Women's Forum to come and do a morning devotion.
will you not be accepted? But if you do not what is right, sin is crouching at your door. It desires to have you, but you must master it. Let us pray. O God, we come before you today to pray for our nation and for an end to violence in our homes. We humbly ask you to bind the spirit of violence, of blindness, of destruction in the mighty name of our Savior. We bind the spirit of rage and of anger. We bind the hands that murder and destroy families and homes. We pray for the transformation and healing of the perpetrators so that they can have hands that build and protect homes, hands that support communities. Lord, we pray for the souls of our departed sisters and brothers affected by this scourge of gender-based violence in their homes and in communities. May their souls rest in peace. May the Lord have mercy on them, and may the perpetual light shine upon them. We pray for the victims of violence. We pray for their healing and for their restoration. We pray that they may find peace and purpose in life. Lord, we also pray for their families to have compassion and wisdom on the victims of violence. We ask this in your name, that it may be granted. Lord, our God, call down your Holy Spirit to descend upon this nation and to restore life to the lifeless. May it restore love and faith, and may the Holy Spirit guide us in wisdom to restore peace and harmony in families and in communities throughout our beautiful land of Mzansi. May we experience a reign of peace, a reign of love, and a reign of sisterhood and brotherhood. We pray for the women and the men of the protectors to be protectors and defenders of families and not to be violent perpetrators. We pray for women to be a source of support to their families and to communities. We pray for our children to be protected from the scourge of violence in their homes and in communities, we pray that the Holy Spirit may grant them wisdom to grow in support and the building of strong families and communities. We pray for the return of morality and of values in our societies, the restoration of human dignity, respect for all life, the protection of the vulnerable children. We pray for the return of human dignity and to be a God-fearing nation. May we preach the gospel of love and of truth through our actions, and may we all of us become instruments of peace in order to restore our families and our communities. Amen.
Thank you very much. I hope everyone was praying also according to their religion. Before I say whatever I want to say, I just want to acknowledge the men that are here. I hope when I said women are beautiful, you didn't feel excluded. I acknowledge every young man who's here, every young man with a disability, every man with a disability, you are welcomed. And we appreciate you being here. That's what we talk about when we talk about positive masculinity, so that you know that you support women, you attend women's programs in order for you to understand what they go through and what they feel. So I welcome you and thank you so much. You are also beautiful. And don't allow perpetrators to make you ugly. You are beautiful. I just want to say, you know, when the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa of 1996 came into effect, most women were so happy. They thought their nemesis has been defeated or the Constitution is going to protect them. And women didn't know that actually violence is going to be worse or violence is going to be exposed, because violence has been there since time immemorial. It has been there. I'm not sure how or why did we perpetuate it. Maybe it's how we responded. And Minister was asking us in the morning to say, who is killing? Because if we knew who is killing, we'd be able to arrest them before they even do that. So there are many questions that we ask ourselves. But I want to share with you two things that I'm going to share before I start. I was given 10 minutes. I don't want to read any speech. I just want to talk. The first one is, I represented our minister at the Swiss embassy. They were celebrating their National Day. And before we started, the counselor from the Swiss embassy was working with me, and we were just talking. So she says, we don't have a department of women in Switzerland. So I said, oh, you don't? Why? She said, maybe it's because there is equality. But then she says, it's equality in terms of material things, money, whatever. However, discrimination continues in a way, but we don't feel it, either because we can fight it or you can walk away. So today, we are starting, is the beginning of the journey. We might have made mistakes or whatever, but it's the first of a kind where we are saying during 16 days, we are not going to focus and talk about gender-based violence. We're going to focus on economic empowerment of women, because if women are economically empowered, they'll be able to walk away and they'll be able to fight back, because I can afford an attorney. Now what happens? Somebody doesn't want to pay maintenance for their child. They go and get an attorney, and the woman can't get an attorney. If you have money, you go and get the best. You go and get a senior advocate and tell yourself, I'm going to teach him a lesson. But if you are not economically empowered, then you are not able to do that. And then the second story, it's about these women who create bags out of waste. I saw someone holding a bag, a beautiful bag, and I said to her, where did you buy this bag? And she said, from these women, they are at this place. And then my minister is responsible for a DDM. Let me also explain. There's someone from COCTA, they can explain better. And I was informed that the minister of COCTA is coming. I hope she'll come. But in the meantime, let me sell the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. There is a program that they've established. For those that don't know, they call it District Development Model. As government was saying, the district must also inform the development, but also the development must focus on what the district has. If you focus on the Moses stick, what you have in your head, it's easier for you to develop people. So each minister has been given a district to be responsible for, to ensure that that district works. So minister's district is Nkangala. So they were going to host a workshop on waste management in Nkangala. So I called these women. I sent someone to say, please call these women to come and sell, because the workshop is focusing on waste and they are producing whatever from waste. And they went, they sold. One of them sold bags that day for 2,000. She sold whatever that she had for 2,000. She cried that in her entire life, she had never sold for that much. Then I realized that we develop women, more especially now I'm talking to government. We always talk about we're empowering women, we are doing this, we're training them, but we do not create the markets. It's important to create the markets, that when women have produced, they have the markets to go and sell. So today is specifically for that. We are saying, let's start and create the market. This is a small market, but one day it's going to be international. It's going to be big, and we're saying from now it will go even to provinces. Next year, I've already committed. Eastern Cape, they were selling things, whatever, and I was saying we're starting with you, so be ready. Women, be ready to buy, but also be ready to go and sell. If you're unemployed and you have a skill to produce something, start producing. The Department of Small Business Development is also here. Know about them, find out from them what can be done so that you can be able to be empowered. So it's not just about employment. What is it that we can do? So these are the stories that I wanted to say. I am the program director for today. I nearly forgot. Our communications person always says, please introduce yourself. I'm Mikate Komaluleke. I'm the Director General of the Department of Women, Youth, and Persons with Disabilities. In front here, I am joined by our Minister Maite Nkwane Mashavane, who's sitting here. The chairperson, acting chairperson of the Commission of Gender Equality, Ms. Nomasonto Mazibugo. Next to her is Lieutenant General. I want to call the designation correctly. They get offended if you call the designation wrong. Lieutenant General Musikili from SAPS. Next to her is UNDP, Dr. Nelly Mwaka. Next to her is Ms. Namhla Niki. Those that are part of Wekona, you know her. It's important to know her also, because Wekona focuses on ensuring that the value chain of government, of production, or of manufacturing involves women. Women are involved. They've been working even with the master plans of government to ensure that they mainstream women. So it's important that you know where to knock when you want to ask or whatever that you want. We also have Mr. Hilton Fenison. Oh, Dr. A. Mulap. Oh, sorry. It's down further. Okay. Mr. Dr. David Molapo. I'm not sure if we have Miss Selina Hlabedi. Okay. But I'll acknowledge you. Thank you very much. As you have seen that we've started late, I won't take time. I will start just now, but just to announce that there's Wi-Fi. You are aware that there's Wi-Fi, so you can do your... I connect. Charlene, how can you do this? No, Charlene will address it. They say it doesn't connect. Or others it does, others it doesn't. Okay, I'm not sure what is the problem, yeah, but let them fix it. Without wasting time, you know, when I'm standing here, maybe that's why I'm not finishing. When you look at this whole place and the exhibitions there, it's so beautiful. So let me at least start running the program so that we can be able to go around and see the exhibition. Now I will call Dr. Nelly Mwaka to come and give us a commitment statement.
Good morning, everyone. I greet you all in the 11 official languages of South Africa, in English. Ma'am Maite Kwana Mashabane, Program Director, Advocate Maluleke, all guests on the podium. Advocate has already introduced you. All invited guests, our women in business at the back, and all protocol observed. My name is Nelly Mwaka from United Nations Development Program. I'm the program manager for gender and HIV. But today, I'm wearing another hat. I'm representing the resident coordinator of the United Nations, who also doubles up as the resident representative for UNDP. He was not able to be here today, but he sends his warm greetings and best wishes for this occasion. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the Department for Women, Youth, and Persons with Disability for inviting the UN to this occasion today to give a statement of our commitment. And I think this invitation is a reflection of the government's recognition of the United Nations as a trusted and reliable partner. And as you all know, the launch of this day for 16 days of no violence against women and children starts today, 25th November, and will continue until 10th December. But it is our wish that everybody practices this day every day of their lives. This period was designated by the UN General Assembly to raise public awareness about gender-based violence in a resolution that was passed on 17th December 1999. And as we observe this day, it brings to mind the recently released statistics by the South African police on the crime statistics in South Africa. Now, these statistics show that 855 women and 243 children were murdered in the last quarter. And this is an increase of 53.2% for women and 46.4% for children. And these figures are very high. There were also 11,734 cases of assault with grievous bodily harm reported for women and 1,670 cases reported for children. Also an increase of 54.7% for women and 56.4% for children. 282 cases of attempted murder against women and 61 cases against children were also reported, bringing an increase of 31.4% for women and 27.5% for children. Comrades, these statistics place a huge responsibility on our shoulders, and we are here today as the UN to declare our commitment to working hand in hand with the government of South Africa to end this scourge. Now, I know that there are several colleagues queuing behind me who would also like to offer their messages of support, and so I'll be very brief. Before I conclude, I would like to list some areas in which the United Nations has worked with government to fight against gender-based violence. Some of the work we are doing is that we supported the Emergency Response Plan and GBV National Strategic Plan from their inception. The UN has also assisted the Secretariat to the Interim Steering Committee on GBV and Femicide soon after the first Presidential Summit on GBVF in 2019. The UN has also played a key role in supporting the development of the National Strategic Plan. The UN co-leads Pillar 2 of the NSP, which focuses on prevention and rebuilding social cohesion, and in this respect supported its development of a comprehensive prevention strategy, as well as the theory of change, recognizing the need to strengthen prevention approaches for gender-based violence. The UN also co-leads Pillar 5, which focuses on women's economic power, and Pillar 6 on research and information management. The UN has also supported the NSP M&E plan, which aims to strengthen monitoring and oversight at all levels. These are just but a few examples of our work. Individual agencies continue supporting this area of work based on their different mandates. Some of the areas we would like to see more progress in our work include increased focus on GBVF prevention, particularly around transformation of norms to address violence against women, as well as deeper and improved coordination on the work around GBVF in the country. The UN today expresses its continued commitment to rally behind the efforts of the South African government to achieve a South Africa free from gender-based violence directed at women, children, and the LGBTQIA+ persons by 2030. Thank you.
Thank you. Before I call the next speaker, I also want to announce that the hosting of this event, there's a lot of partnership that happened. There are 9 provincial offices that have also supported the hosting of this event. Gauteng, the OSWs, the offices of the status of women in the premier's offices, and the local, provincial, local government departments. They are also here, they are supporting you, are welcomed, and I acknowledge you. I don't want you tomorrow to say, we're no longer partner, they don't recognize us. Thank you very much for the support. I'm not sure if GIZ, Miss Bokhona has arrived. It seems as if she's not here. Then I will call Miss Namhlam Nikki from Wekona. Thank you very much.
What we aim to do at the Women Economic Assembly is to invite all South Africans.
Good afternoon, good morning actually, colleagues. There's supposed to be a video playing, but it's supposed to have visuals. Can I just get confirmation from the technical team that we are having the video, or whether it will come after I finish? I will proceed, I'll proceed. Sanibona. Sanibona molweni. Dumelang. Ndimasharoni ninjani. Are we good? My name is Namhlam Nikki, as has been introduced, and I am part of the Women Economic Assembly. And before I start, I just want to send a warm greeting to our Honorable Minister and thank her very much for having Wekona speaking here, Minister Maite Ngwana Mashabane. I want to recognize my DG. Thank you so much for the opportunity. You already met her, she's the program director. There's a number of dignitaries in the room, and I want to just follow all of the protocols already observed. We are a nation in the cusps of rebuilding. One of the challenges of rebuilding a new nation is that, number one, you have to acknowledge the things about that nation you don't like, and in fact, make yourself as part of the problem. And that's what we are here in part to do today. But a second, more exciting thing about rebuilding a nation is that you get the opportunity to have a new vision of what you desire to see in the future. I love how my DG started this conversation by saying we're no longer just going to focus on what the problems are in terms of gender-based violence and femicide. We are going to begin to say, what is it going to take for us to get out of the quagmire that we are in? The start of the Women Economic Assembly, which we call Wekona in brief, actually begins from this premise that we are going to create a new vision for the women of South Africa. A new vision that imagines that it's possible for us not to be at the periphery of our economy, but rather to be central participants and value creators in that economy. This new vision, articulated in the National Strategic Plan on Gender-Based Violence, which is led by our Department of Women, Youth and Persons with Disability. This vision is an ambitious one because it says, over and above me being a woman in this country, I have a right to have dignity, I have a right to employment, particularly gainful employment, but more than that, I have a right to access productive assets that allow me to participate as a business owner in the economy. Can you imagine that we have a policy framework in this country that says, actually we see you as a woman, we see you, Namhla, as a woman, as a business owner. But we don't just see you as a business owner, we want to make sure that we create opportunities for you in the marketplace. What does that look like? Wekona says, our vision is that every single business in this country buys products and services from women. Every government department, whether it is at the national, provincial, or local government, buys its products and its services from women. That is why we established this target of 40% preferential procurement, because we see the possibility and the potential and the capacity of women to actually be participating in our economy. But I won't stand here and make this a light issue as if it's something that we already have seen. Because if you are a businesswoman sitting in the audience today, it doesn't matter if you are selling cabbage on the streets, or you are selling carrots, or you are selling your crafts. You already know how difficult it is to access markets. So we kind of started off saying, you know what, we're going to go to every government department and ask, what work are you doing to create opportunities for women in your procurement spend? But also we are going to private sector, and we have been collaborating for the last year and a half with private sector companies to say, come on board. Over and above saying we are buying in South Africa because of Proudly South African, we are now saying, out of what you are buying in South Africa, how much of that comes from women? What we have been hearing from women entrepreneurs like you is that, number one, there is some work that is needed in terms of building the capacity and the environment for women to be able to supply their goods and services. Access to financing, access to enterprise development so that you are producing at the standard that is needed by the companies, but also at the scale. What does that look like then? It means we can't just talk about us producing in our little corners. We have to think about productive capacity, which means where are the manufacturing plants in South Africa? To what extent do women have access to those manufacturing plants so that we can actually produce the things that are needed by our marketplace? So, ladies and gentlemen, in short, what the Women Economic Assembly is it is your platform. WeCorner is all of our platform. We are made up of women entrepreneurs in all of the 9 provinces. We're made up of business women. We're made up of leaders within the public sector. We're made up of leaders within the private sector as well. And our simple message and our simple mandate is to say, we recognize, just as our DG was saying, we recognize that the less empowered we are as women economically, the less it becomes impossible for us to live abusive relationships. In fact, the indignity of poverty and the indignity of economic exclusion leads to increased vulnerability generally, not just to GBV, but to everything else. We are less resilient to economic shocks. We are less resilient. If someone is sick in our home, we don't have the capacity to actually deal with that. So we are actually working on a very bold, very radical program, which has been made possible by the Department of Women through the NSP, that says from this point onwards, women must get economic power. Women must claim economic power, and that this environment, this marketplace, this economy must begin to create the opportunities for women to actually own their economic power. Ownership to land, ownership to manufacturing infrastructure, ownership and access to financing, so that more and more we can become the business owners we can become. We were asked here to come and give a message of commitment and support. And our message of commitment and support is simple to say, number one, we are a baby of the NSP. We will continue to fight for and work towards economic power for women. Number two is that we are going to continue to work collaboratively, not just with the department and other entities within the public sector, but also with all of the women in South Africa to pave a new vision and to actually determine what it is we need to do differently. One of the things that has been encouraging has been private sector coming on board and agreeing that change is needed. And so we've seen companies starting to do radical things. It's not at scale yet. And so we have lots of work to do to convince private companies to actually come on board. But the ones that are on board have already said they've transformed their gender targets in terms of procurement. They are already supporting women business owners to come into their supply chain. And it is that collaborative approach that has helped us. In fact, a company like Anglo-American, who has sponsored the translation services for our event today, is an example of some of those companies that are beginning to do excellent work. And so as I finish off, I just want to say that we have in this country hope for a different future. When Mahadi started the prayer with us, I actually got a little bit teary-eyed because the song she was singing is exactly the message I want to leave us with today, that we have hope. The hope that we have is in God, but it's not just in God. It's also in the belief that we can. So we are no longer going to wait for other people to transform our economy. We're no longer going to wait for other people to be our saviors. What we are doing as the women of South Africa, and I'm not speaking on your behalf, I'm speaking because I'm one of you, because We Corner is the women of South Africa. And I'm saying the action like We Corner is essentially an example of women taking up the baton and saying, you know what, we've been waiting for too long. From now on, we're going to go straight to business. We're going to go straight to government, and we'll begin to transform this economy so that it's better for our people. Thank you so much.
Because these two screens, they work, can you play the video that she had requested?
What we aim to do at the Women Economic Assembly is to invite all South Africans to come and showcase
My apology.
success regarding
The
women
screens are
empowerment.
facing this side.
Also,
And they were supposed
learn
to be-
from each other
Oh,
of
it's
how
because
best
that
to
one was
address
supposed
the
to be
issues
briefing
of
you.
empowerment. And for players, meaning the private sector and the public sector,
Okay. Oh, okay.
to showcase to women the opportunities that are available.
We should create that ecosystem so that it becomes the order of things, so that women are able, yes, to have easier access to everything, markets, funding, assistance to run their businesses.
Assembly is a gathering of multiple stakeholders, from government to civil society to women business associations and the private sector. And essentially it intends to ensure that women have opportunities in supply chains, in industry, both in terms of, agriculture, all the 17 industries essentially.
We need to provide decent work, economic inclusivity, productive resources to all South Africans who should be feeling this belongs to all of us.
The industries that are reflected here are billion-dollar industries. So it's important for women to be involved. Women must be involved. The preamble of our Constitution says one of the reasons for the Constitution is to improve the quality of life of all citizens and free the potential of each person. This is where we are going. With this,
that's exactly, it's a step towards that. This consolidates what government has already been doing. We're not saying government has not been doing anything, but we're saying there was a missing link of women. So now we're saying women must be a link to every industry or every business initiative or business strategy of government. Thank you very much. Now I will call Miss Commissioner Nomasonto Mazibuko from the Commission on Gender Equality.
Sanbonani, Dumelang, good morning, Kuyemore, Lochani, Nyabonga kakhulu, Acting President, Her Excellency Njim Chaka in absentia, Minister Kwane Mashabane, Minister of Women, people with disabilities, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure for me this morning to support the initiative meant to help eradicate the scourge of gender-based violence against women and children. This notwithstanding our oversight role as the CGE, the Constitution of South Africa, and Nyabonga ngibole ngeleni bathandekayo lilizela mama lilizela. Angizwe ngeinsizwa zishaya ikhwela lilizela. Kuyinjabulo kimi namhlanje masime la to say yebo sizoluka sikhuluma ulimi lika King kodwa siyazi ukuthi sihleli la sibukele zonke imisebenzi elaphana emuva kusinika intokozo kakhulu ukuthi siyi-CGE lapho sibona ukuthi abomama kanye nabantwana bamantombazana babaluleke kangakanani eMzansi Afrika. I-act yethu ithi sengibuyele elwimini lethu esizokwazi ukuthi sithathe wonke umuntu sizwane ukuthi act ye-CGE u-39 of 1996 as amended over the years, the Commission has used its legislative mandate to conduct oversight, role and investigation on the country. It is performing, it gives issues pertaining to gender equality and matters concerning GBV. The CGE has various research and it runs a ship without captain, fighting without fire, painting all the cracks, analysis, victims charter, assessing government. The emergency action plan on gender-based violence and the femicide and recently was released on the report effectiveness of police station in addressing the scourge of GVP. In all findings, the recommendation we believe it were looked into holistically, implementing that they could somewhat help shape the way address the scourge of gender-based violence in this country. The second quarter statistics are released by the Minister Begicele on Tuesday. Don't paint a picture of what is against women and children acromegaly. It is an important and a very important participation on GBV declares war. It declares war on women and children. We need all hands on deck. We need to come back. Let's not leave our men and our boys behind. Let's work as a family. Okokuqala bathandekayo. Ngoba lento le isuke ekhaya. Isuke ekhaya lento. Uma wena uzothi umama, hayi boy, uvu smooth wena hlala ufunda iphepha noma udlala ama games akho wena ntombazana sukuma ugeza izitsha futhi engikucelayo bathandekayo sisahleli la asibafundiseni abantwana bethu ngokocansi ukuthi umntwana angayoyithola komunye umuntu umntwana athola ukuthi umama noma ubaba bayaxoxa ngokocansi la endlini angayofundisa masithi abantwana sisithi pupunizer akusipupunizer sithi hayi induku akusindu biza into ngegama layo masisuka la ngizoloko ngikhuluma tibuwe gore ke ska siya motho ko morago a re ya kopile a re tsamayeng kaofela a ke batle gore a re tswa mo o raka utlwa no go thiwa yebo sizokhuluma ngamalwimi wonke ngoba sibuthenela simunye bomama nabo baba bala simunye asishoni sonke sithini simunye sizoba munye kanjani. We cannot let our parents or our guardians to outsource responsibilities to educators. Esikolweni udlalela nomntwana waba 5 years, udlalela nomntwana waba 7 years. Thina esikhubazekile size sibayisa abantwana bethu esikolweni bena 10 years ngoba abezwa, ababoni, abafuna ukuthi bangaphumela phandle. Bomama nabo baba thathani zona lengane ezikhubazekile zihambe ziye esikolweni qala ziye esontweni thathani abantwana baye esontweni bajwayele noma siye ezikolweni zethu zokukhubazeka sifuna ukuthi sazeke simemeni ngifuna ukuthi nibheke nonke nihleli la ukhona yini umuntu okhubazekile umshiyeleni umakhelwane okuyo lokho kwenza ukuthi charity begins at home. Nyafisa Mzansi, nyafisa bomama kanye nabobaba bakhona la ukuthi sihambeni sinyathele ngokuzwana, sinyathele ngokuthandana, sinyathele ngokubekezelana, sinyathele ngokuthi oswele msize. Ungameli uhulumeni ukuthi uzosiza umuntu kanti wena ufaka ukudla edustbinini la next door. Let us not defend bad behavior. What happened in Mpumalanga based on allegation of a joke, condemn all costs. It would let us to go backwards. If not, agencies deserve to say, sinamakaya namhlanje bathandekayo. Abantwana bakhulumisana, abazali bakhulumisana, abantwana baka-aunt bayi kamalungu, abantwana bakamalungu abazi ka-aunt. Khane zothi umuntu sibona kumabonakude kuthiwa kukithi la umuntu azathi ngizokubambisa ngithi ungidlwengulile. Ukudlwengula kanjani ngoba beniphuza ubhiya nobabili? Ukudlwengula kanjani ngoba beniphethe nobabili? Mase iphelile indaba sokudlwengulula. Ukudlwengula kanjani? Kahleni i-GBV sizoyiqeda emakhaya, i-GBV sizoyiqeda ekuhlaleni. Ibhlungu into eyenzekele abantu bakwaSithole, ibhlungu into eyenzekele ubafana, ibhlungu nento eyenzekele usisi. Amanga awakaze alakhe ikhaya, amanga awakaze asakhe isikolo. Hlanganani uthi lo mfana ngiye ngathuka ngazibona ukuthi ngiyofika ngithini kumama, ngiyobabhekela obani abafowethu, ngiyobabhekela obani abantwana engifunda nabo. Mawubheka ijezi lalo mfana lihlobile ngoba he was an achiever. Angimazi kodwa ngibheke ijezi lakhe, bheka leyo video. Nawe ungasayidlulisi le video ngoba isibangela usizi thina siyi-CGE sithi kini namhlanje asibopheni imithwalo yethu. Into engikufunayo namhlanje minister, ngibonga kakhulu ukuthi sizosebenzisana singamakhosikazi nobaba abahleli la sithi sizolibamba lishisa. Angazi abesuthu bebesho ukuthini mabethi ne uchwarati pakabo bukhali akiboni bukhali butshwere kibomme. I thank you.
uyasikhumbuza ukuthi yes, today we're focusing on pillar 5. Mankala, I didn't explain ukuthi today is part of the National Strategic Plan on Gender-Based Violence and Femicide. For those that do not know, I know there are NGOs and those that know, but for the sake of those that don't know, it has 6 pillars. But
Can I translate it? Thank you very much, madam. All I was saying in a nutshell, I was saying in 3 groups. The family is key. Children, family should stay together. Let's talk about sexuality to our children. Let's work together. Don't say to the boy child, you are cleverer. Gone are the days as CGE we have looked at the issues of the bad practices when the boy child was given in our culture. I'm not saying it's bad, but my only son is Vusumuzi because we want the family to grow. In Anta earlier, the girl child is as important as the boy. So as we go along today, we're building unity between the boys, the men. The men must not bottle up. We see a lot of men hanging themselves, committing suicide. Let's talk to the men. We know that we've got a number of systems that can help people. Let's go to our pastors. Let's go to our social workers. Let's go to the teachers. Let's equip everybody. All I'm saying as CGE, no one should be left behind. Everybody, as we work with the SDGs. And I was talking specifically about the family of Bafana Sithole who committed suicide because a fellow student said he raped him. But at the later stage, it's not stated. The following day or later said it was a joke. I was joking. Can you imagine? Our jails are full today of people who are sentenced of not doing that what they were sentenced for. And we're saying, united we stand as South Africans. Gender-based violence should be eliminated from the homes. I thank you.
Thank you for translating. As indicated that we are still focusing on the National Strategic Plan on Gender-Based Violence and Femicide. So it has got 6 pillars. Pillar 5 is on economic power. So, but she was bringing us back to remember that we are here to discuss issues of the economy. However, gender-based violence is continuing. So we must not lose sight of that. We must remember that gender-based violence is continuing. And sometimes when it's reported, it's as if it's increasing. So at the end of the day, I think this gives us an opportunity to talk. Yes, the criminal justice system remains responsible, but she was also saying, as families, we can prevent gender-based violence because we don't want violence to happen, and then that's when we go to the courts and criticize the courts. We just don't want gender-based violence to happen. We don't just want our girl children to be killed by their boyfriends and their husbands. Without wasting time, I will call Miss Selina Hlabedi, award-winning farmer. Is she here? It says if she's not here. Okay, without wasting time, then I will call Dr. David Mulapo, ICANN Leadership Institute Africa and CEO of ICANN for IR. Thank you.
Long live, Abu Mama, long live. Why don't you look to someone on your left or on your right? Umushebe, look at that person and say something like this. You look stronger than the strongest washing powder. Just remind them. Thank you. Oh, you're strong. To the program director, honorable minister, honorable guests, particularly our partners from Wekona, co-chair, Sis Namhla, Sis Jackie, thank you so very much for this wonderful opportunity. It is true, ladies and gentlemen, that life is like a book of many chapters. Some chapters are easy, while some chapters are difficult. Some chapters are rough, while some other chapters are smooth. It is also true that some chapters are filled with triumphs, while some other chapters are filled with tragedies. The statistics of GBV in our country are shocking. And we as progressive men, we are here to say three things. One, we are here to acknowledge and admit our mistakes. And we can use excuses that our fathers and our forefathers, but those excuses are immaterial. So number one, we are here to say we are sorry. We admit we stacked it, we messed it up. Number two, we are here to say what now is the way forward. Because gender-based violence cannot only necessarily talk about violence against women. There is a lot of material and research showing that you also as women have also violated men, and most of the people are quiet about it. We need also to highlight so that there is what? There is parity. But number three, I'm here to say, despite the past, because we are no longer prisoners of the past, we are pioneers of the future. It is true that the past is a point of reference, not a place of residence. What can we do today not to have another talk shop? In Afrikaans, ek is heeltemal nar met seminars. We must come up with something concrete, and for us, as the ICANN Leadership Institute, we are saying we've already started empowering men through the ICANN of fathering. What are we teaching men? We are teaching them to be the generators of H-O-P-E, hope, Itemba, Tsepo. H, we are teaching men to have a positive outlook on life. For men to realize that women and children are a gift from God. In fact, if the truth be told, women are more powerful than men, and I will prove it in a minute. A man is a male, but a woman is a male with a fetus. That's why we call her a female. A man is just a man. Kim Jita ki out is a man, but a woman is a man with a womb. That's why we call her a womb man. And of all the things that God had to do, God took a rib to create a woman. Why a rib? Not a tonsil, not a toe, a rib. Because a rib covers the essential. A rib is strong. It covers malamukhodu ikilani. A rib covers the heart. A rib covers everything. And it's about time that age men begin to have a positive outlook on life, to realize we are co-partners in ensuring that our society and our children live in a healthy environment. The letter O in the acronym HOPE, we are here as progressive men to say we need to push, yes, the government agenda. But as Mama said, at the end of the day, an agenda is an agenda. We must make these things practical. And charity begins at? So our objective, therefore, is to sharpen the skills of fathering, parenting, because there's no schools for that. The letter P, we have a positive outlook on life. We have objectives. The letter P is to continue to pursue programs like this, to partner with progressive women who are realizing that we cannot just talk. We need to move on. Example, what we do with the corporates. We are pursuing the whole thing of empowering people on listening skills, including the SAPS. How do you listen to the voice of the victim? You don't only listen with your head, you listen with your heart. Because you can never heal the wounds you do not feel. You can never heal the wounds you do not feel. So that we tell a solution. Another thing as we partner is to teach our young men about the values of women. Because remember, things don't end wrong. Things start wrong. If we start right, then we'll be able to empower these young men to be able to treat our women, our children with respect. Another thing is to engage men and boys to reduce and prevent gender-based violence. And finally, we are here to promote that corporates and government must fund initiatives like this that promote gender equality and equip all stakeholders. In conclusion, H, have a positive outlook on life. O, have objectives. P, partner and pursue that excellence. And the letter E, it's all about empowering. I leave with this song. One more time. Lord, you galugana, oh mandinge, gingene to me swene, oh mandinge, and to me, oh dingene to me swene, oh mandinge. So we are looking up to you, our mothers and our sisters. Continue to keep hope alive. I can do my part, you can do your part together. Let's keep hope alive. God bless.
Positive masculinity. This world would be a better world if we can really practice that. But also, as he said, also we also have to respect the others. Thank you very much. Without wasting time, I would like to call Hilton and Spokazi.
Sanbonani, Molweni, Goeiemiddag. There is squad war, so it is an afternoon.
Let me just throw in away. And all protocol observed.
There is a picture that we should be having on the wall. I'm hoping they can stay with us. Are they awake at the back there?
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Should we be saying away to them? Okay, we'll move on. I was at the back there. I saw beautiful things. And I saw the next millionaires. Are you the next millionaires?
But why do you see the next millionaires? Why are they the next millionaires?
My apology. Meanwhile, they're putting the picture. General Sitole, from Ekuruleni, they want you this side. Thank you.
We are billionaires.
I've just been corrected. I'm in the midst of billionaires. Can you receive that? And everybody in the room said? Thank you.
So we now know that the new majority of South Africa is the 30.5 million women in this country. You guys are the new majority.
But guess how many businesses do we own? Only 20%. What's wrong with that picture? And if you think of it, even if we are the new majority, there is a lot of women that run their own homes here. So not only are we in the majority, but we are also in leadership. We're leading our own homes, are we not? And what next do we then need to lead? The economy. And I'm seeing that gap, and it's a gap that's been mentioned by the speakers before. I've been in business for more than 12 years now, and one of my mistakes I made was not to have a business plan that was fluid enough to go with me. Who's ever written those horrible business plans for submitting? Show of hands. How painful was it?
Very painful. In fact, we do know that only 1 out of 10 business plans gets approved for any kind of funding. And even worse is only of all the funding that we have for women business or for businesses, less than 3% goes to women in South Africa.
These numbers make me sad. I just want to cry. Don't you want to cry? Which means that with the women at the back that are exhibiting, with the women seated here, funeka's changes into. I almost went into that song. Zizojika izinto wena ukhalelani wena ukhale. We are not here just to sing and make you feel good. You have too many seminars and high teas you attend to do that. We are serious about your economic emancipation. We bring our part, we want you to bring yours. We're here to commit, Minister. We're here to commit. What are we committing, sir?
Well, we do know that if that 80% of businesses are women and they actually do regular business planning and they are supported by business advisors, then they will grow faster and they will be sustained longer. And so the next millionaires needs something to help them plan. And so we are from a company called Growth Wheel South Africa. We've been working with business advisors and incubators and etc. throughout the country. In fact, all Ministry of Small Business and Cedar Business Incubators, they use our business planning platform for regular business planning. And so
what is it?
Oops. That was loud.
So we were asked by Rikona to come and join hands and join in and change the narrative to help women business owners be sustainable and grow. So what is it that we're going to do, Sibukazi?
We are offering all the women that are seated here that are in business and access to that tool so that we can plan that billion that we're going to make. How does that sound? From budgeting to your business profile, to your 90-day plan, not just planning for 5 years. Uyayibona? Doing your financials, where you can now go and get your next funding. That tool helps you with that. And more than anything else, Minister, we need incubators that specialize on women only. There's incubators I don't dispute, but probably for safe spaces, because we're not, selling is new to some of us. We didn't grow up with parents who had shops. So we are the first generation business people. So it means that, and if you bring in crime and layer GBV on top of it, it means that I need to be able to print, access the internet, have a business advisor that can help me and be able to know that I can get home safely. And in that center as well, I need to see a female that looks like me. I want to lead from a feminine role and not lead from his role. I like him, he's my brother, but femininity has got its own ways of approaching things. Ebona musi makeup and the glam. We want to have glamorous businesses. We don't want to be hardcore and they call us other names, but we still want to make the billion. So this is a call that we do need to focus on incubators and focus on small business support that is focused on women, not that it has a percentage of women, because we are behind. If we only own 20% of the economy, and yet we are over 50% slate, we are way behind. So we're making that call to say we need an exclusive women-owned incubators and business centers so that we can be able to turn that wheel with a tool like Growth Wheel so that we become the next millionaires. So that's this opportunity, Indo. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. It's true. You do have to plan your business. You need to ensure that you plan the finances and all those. Yes, as is already said that 10 can apply, only one will succeed, but we need to change that. That's why you have Wekona and others who are making sure that they are talking to the relevant people. They are knocking on behalf of women. I had called Miss Selina Tlabedi. She said she was at the back at the stall, so I couldn't see her. She kept on doing this, but I couldn't see her. So I'll give an opportunity so that she can be able to come and share with you. Very important. What she's going to say is very important for food security.
Thank you, Program Director. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, she won't say this. Let me say it. She's an award-winning farmer. She won't say it.
Thank you, Program Director. Mangbulisu Minister. Gibulise itafule lonke, all protocol observed. Malibongwe! Kamala Makoskaz! Ki utlwile lentswe le ke le ratang ba re mme o itshwara ka bogaleng. Ke mme Pinky, known as Pinky, Selina Tlabedi. But I've got a new name after this award. I'm the Queen of Bonsmara. The most male-dominated business in farming. Thank you to be given this opportunity to come and talk to women. I was panicking, Minister, to be honest, and the DG, when yesterday only 4 or 5 exhibitors arrived. I'm the organizer of these exhibitions here today, and I'm proud to see the house full of all farmers and agro-processors. I'm not going to talk lots of things. There are any farmers in this house? Oh, super. When we walk out here, each and every farmer must hold a hand to her neighbor, to her child, whether it's a neighbor's child, or it's a youth from somewhere else, or an unemployed mother. Please walk out with them, go and show them where we started, how do we do it. I personally started in the school ground. We launched 60 schools with a school garden. I graduated into an open field, municipality field. Then my friend offered me a 2.5 hectares where I was planting vegetables, started supplying Pick and Pay. Then the department earmarked me and said, hey, here's a big farm. Can you work this land? That's how today I'm the queen of Bonsmara, briefly. I will go straight to the point. When we walk out here, in your own kitchen, you can start agro-processing. Manufacture your own juice, your own smoothie, your own, and supply. You know, olden days, the pensioners during apartheid regime, those old ladies, remember, used to knit some booties and dresses, used to cook marmalade jam and bottle it, supply Woolworths and Pick and Pay, close it with a fancy cloth. And our mothers were buying. Why don't you do that? You can do that in your own kitchen and supply. If you don't know how to do it, here we are. We do have a structure, but it's women in agriculture and rural development. We've got Menom Vuyo, she's the chairperson of Gauteng. She's in the house here. Can you wave where you are, Mama? She's with her committee here. She's with her committee. I'm the former National Secretary, what? 10 years back. Today we are representing women globally. We can't represent you globally with a lip service without showing action. Today I'm saying to you, when I walk out here, we need to have more queens in more produce. Women, it's tough out here. Without us, today diesel is high, petrol is high, paraffin is high, and we can't do anything. We normally plant with 50 rand. Today you plant with 250. Where are you gonna get the 250 if you can't make a profit? We say to the minister, we appreciate this platform. Help us to unlock the markets. There are markets as unlocked because of the whites. The field, if you go to the auction, you go to the abattoir, they look at your color of your skin. It's difficult. You plant spinach, you go to ShopRite, you go to Checkers. I wish they are here and listen, because we have been complaining, no one was helping us. You plant difficult, regular fertilizer, use your energy. When you go to the shop, they sell a spinach with 15 rand, but they want to buy a bunch with 5 rand or 3 rand from you. Those are the challenges we have, that we want the minister to unlock them. Because our own Ministry of Agriculture tried, but maybe alone she can't win the battle. She needs this ministry, because it belongs to us, to help us. Secondly, I would love to say to you, participants, farming, it's not sexy. But I look sexy today because of farming. When I come here, I must look sexy. But when you go back to the farm, you can't be sexy. You can't even tilt your fingers, but you will tilt the soil. Let's all go back to our roots, take out the pavings, take the olden basin, leaking basin, take the motor tires, go and plant. We were taken to China to look at how China, they're succeeding in farming. They've got a market in Kulu, they call it OVOP. OVOP is one village, one project. Where 10 houses they are planting spinach, 10 houses planting cabbage, they will manage to supply the markets. Do you think we can manage to do that? So let's go out and plant. Let's remove those pavings, let's remove those lawns, let's feed our children. Let's teach them from the great R. Amakanda wabuye Pick n Pay, apuma inkukwin, and show them how. Have your own smallanyana poultry in your own yard. We grew up selling chickens in the corners. Why did we stop that today? Harisa Lemuhi, when time goes up, we are no longer gonna eat. Food will be too expensive. Reason being, they are shorter within the country. Let's hold hands together. I'm encouraging you that we do have the stand with full of information. If you want to know more about farming, come and talk to us. Another thing that is burning is issue of land. Women still lack to get opportunity ukuthola umhlaba. Minister, it's been our call for years. We need farms for women. There are women who are capable out there who can farm this land. Unlock Department of Rural Development and Land Reform and give us farms. They are given to certain people that are known. They bring them to us to mentor them. When we walk out, they get monies, they lock the farms. At the end of the day, it's a waste of state monies. I'm very frank, I want to be honest and open today and talk about this because it's a big cry out there. Land is a crucial issue. Amenities is a big issue. We need equipment to work this land. We do have agri-parks that were organized by the former minister, but the budget that was supposed to get us those equipments, we don't know what happened. But if this ministry can help us to follow up these, really, most of you here, you'll be farmers. I would like to stop there and say thank you with this opportunity for women.
Thank you. It is also a $1 billion industry. And when she says one day we will not have food, it's true. Food is going to be very expensive because there will be a shortage of seed to plant. So not only should we be involved in planting, we should also plant the seeds and produce the seeds and bank them and sell them so that we are ready one day. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. You've been a wonderful audience. You know, I won't say much. I'm supposed to introduce the minister. She's behind me, so I want to. Can you hear me? No. Oh, sorry. My apology. My program has been. You've heard everyone speaking about the statistics on gender-based violence and all those things. But what I want to say is that there is an IMC on the National Strategic Plan on Gender-Based Violence and Femicide, which has got 6 ministers. It's Minister Maite Nkwane Mashabane, who's the chair. There's Minister for the Police. There's Minister for Social Development, Minister of Justice, Minister of Public Service and Administration, and Minister of Finance. I think you've seen us even at the launch of the Gender-Based Violence Summit. When we launched it, the Minister of Police was there. He was supposed to be here, but he's got other commitments. You know he always supports us. So I would like to call
Lieutenant General Musikili to come and say something. General, Lieutenant General.
Thank you so much, DG. Minister was saying, good shot. Program Director, DG in the Department of Women, Youth and Persons with Disability, Advocate Maluleka, thank you very much. And greetings to the Minister, Minister Maite Ngwane Mashabane. And let me thank you, Minister, for giving South African Police Service once more an opportunity to come and address in this very well looked for 16 days of activism. But my experience in the police, Minister, is that after we go out and we give awareness on the gender-based violence, instead of seeing a decline in the reporting, we unfortunately see a spike of women who will be violated. And I must say women and men. We clarified the statistics when the minister was briefing the media a few days ago that the numbers that we were communicating to the nation includes both men and women that becomes the victims of sexual assault, amongst others. Let me observe the protocol of the dignitaries that are here, the dignitaries that are in the auditorium, the business women that are continuing to encourage us, Sis Nomhla, to be economically empowered. But unfortunately, there is a setback that always pulls us as women and girls in this country not to reach that potential. Oftentimes, Minister, when a woman goes out to make an ends meet, some, when they come back, they are called names. And as a result, they become the victims of domestic violence. Dumela. Goeiemiddag. Good afternoon. The theme this year in the campaign for the 16 days of activism in 2022 speaks volumes. The socio-economic rights and empowerment to build women resilience against gender-based violence and femicide. It goes further to say connect, collaborate, and contract. Dr. Molapo, we appreciate those that always reach out to the police to assist, to empower, to encourage, and to make them realize the importance of being the police officers. Unfortunately, we're in the forefront as the South African Police Service when there is no hope, when a person becomes a victim of an unprotected environment. In our nature, we are made to combat, to prevent, and to investigate. I always say, Minister, what you were saying earlier and yesterday, that why will women continue to become victims when for many years we've been going out to educate, to empower, to encourage people not to commit crime. Unfortunately, when the police come, I know this is the department that is most of the time not liked, because we are the face of the whole value chain in the criminal justice system value chain. Unfortunately, the time that we come, it's after the fact, because it is after the abuse has happened. It's after the person has already suffered the trauma that, in my experience, it is very hard to go away. It's very difficult when you became a victim that you will come and say, this scam must just vanish and go away. It lives with you for the rest of your life. It is our appeal that do not violate the woman, because it is another death that is registered in that particular person, becomes hopeless after that happened. And to my fellow colleagues, Minister, we do have, I think, at least 8 provinces are here in the police to join and to come and hear the support that we will be getting in order for us to be able to discharge our duties. Distinguished guests, as we bring spotlight on violence perpetuated against women and children, we would like to implore to all of you to continue to work together, to continue to work with us, to continue to support the families. I wanted to share 1 or 2 stories that I personally became involved as I was growing up in this organization, where a 15-month-old baby was repeatedly raped by her own father. When the mother wakes up in the morning to go and work, initially a domestic worker, I investigated the case. Every morning, we know that the child will always come to the mother. Atlo kopa dijo, o batla borotho, o batla pencil ya skolo. The first point is the mother. So this woman decided, my husband is not working, let me go kilo panda. She was working for 4 employers, meaning she was working until Saturday to make sure at the end of the month, at least obanale an income that can be able to support the family. Every time she goes out, the 15-month-old baby was supposed to be taken to the grandmother who was living at the other house within the compound. But the husband will, before dropping off the child, rape the child, then take the child to the grandmother. The child will react, she will be taken to the clinic, and few days after, it will happen again. And the poor woman will again take the child to the clinic. I think only after a repeated incident, the clinic said, but what is happening here? The reaction will have a diarrhea. And in the diarrhea, when she passes, they will see the traces of blood. Then they decided to investigate further. When they established what happens, I was called from my office. Without telling the mother, they called that you must be here in the next 5 minutes. The area was quite distant, but you know when the police put on the blue lights that you do not like, at times we have to do that. That child couldn't sit, couldn't crawl. She was broken. When she get to the hospital, she was supported both legs. When we go to court to fast track my story, I was accused of being a friend to the mother. That I did not know, but I am the investigator. These are some of the shambles that we get on the daily basis, and it's okay. As long as I do what is expected of me to give hope. To give hope, Dr. Molapo, to the hopeless. The other 12-year-old was raped by the father. She became pregnant. The teachers at school finds it odd and brought them to my office. She came with the mother and narrated the story. She was called a liar in front of me because, Osnomsha, this woman could not lose the only support in the house. The husband that is providing. If she knew about the rapes that was happening to her daughter. But because she was relying on the husband for economic support, she couldn't tell. Even when she was in my office, she refused. I had to arrest her to bring her to her senses. But in an event to get her helped, because she was in denial, just to make sure that come to the reality, help me to help your daughter, because this one is not the last one. This is where we are expected as the South African Police Service to come in and give hope to the hopeless, to provide the support. I want to appeal to my colleagues that is unfortunate that we need to do it, irrespective of the circumstances. Reshapua every day that we are not doing enough. And I don't want to even go to what the minister will always emphasize, that prisons are overflowing and the people that are there do not match. Somebody needs to investigate and investigate properly for them to go there. We do have the statistics of the number of people, over 100 for the past 6 months, that are saving life on gender-based violence and femicide cases. The scourge of GBV in the country, which has been declared a second pandemic, it's scary. When we think that we have spoken to the nation, when we think we have educated the nation, when we think that we have empowered women and girls, we see statistics doubling up quarter after quarter after quarter. And this incident happens at the places that are most safe and protected environment for women and girls. We heard when the minister was sharing that over 80% of the incidents happened in the homes of the victims. We heard this morning that we must rebuild the nation. But I can assure you, as long as we are suffering what we are enduring at this moment, we are far from realizing what we have put in the 2030 strategy as a country, that we want to see women and children and girls and boys free and safe. Because these days, boys are suffering and enduring the same sexual assault like it never happened before. This hope that we want is for all of us. Where we are sitting, the stories that we are hearing every day, and we must wake up every day, put on the masks of makeup and be strong for the victims when they walk at the police stations. My colleagues, it is our duty to do that. What are the drivers? Gender norms and discrimination promotes the use of violence as acceptable social practices, because some of us will grow up knowing we must find our place in the house, not when the mother comes in. The idea that is centered on male control of women, male sexuality, entitlement, we even see it with the young boys at the primary schools. Family matters regarding upbringing and maintenance of childrenship. As I grew up, my siblings, 5 of them were boys. So my parents tried every time to get another girl, and the boy will come. So I was expected to cook porridge for my siblings every morning before I go to school, to clean the kitchen, to ensure the surrounding is clean and our bedroom is clean, and theirs. Come back and wash the dishes. And I can't do it because I'm the only girl. Until one of the aunts said, but no, it's all of us responsibility. One of my brothers can cook more than I can do, because my father's mindset was changed to say, let me teach all of them. I have only one boy. He knows that in a week, 4 days of the week, it's him who is preparing the dinner for us. The current challenges that contribute to a high increase of incidents of violence against women and children and vulnerable groups can be attributed to issues that include the high rate of withdrawal of cases of domestic violence. I was sharing with the colleagues this morning that we ended up closing or taking away the much needed DNA collection boxes from the clinics that we were saying. At times, victims will just go to the clinic, let them be there so that when they arrive, they can be assisted. But that system was abused by some women that will just go there to get the PEP, to get a morning after pill, provide wrong addresses, and you'll never trace them again. So we are sitting with collection kits. Today we are talking about DNA backlog. Some of these we don't know the people who were examined and this taken from them, because the contact details that they have left, they could not be traced. DNA backlog is one of the bone of contention when it comes to the issues of solving the gender-based violence and sexual assault. It is but one of the collaborative evidence that is extremely important, but it is but one. There are other evidence and collaborative statements that we require to prove the case. But it is extremely important to report sexual assault as quickly and as soon as possible, so that we can get that evidence that we collaborate. On instances where some of the clever people, when they perpetrate, they make sure that they don't leave the trace, we must still solve that case. Hence I'm saying it is but one of the contributors to collaborate the evidence. However, we do require that because it seals everything. You cannot deny a DNA. And I must say, with the backlog that you are having, we are nearly less than 70% to conclude it. We have only 2 months left that we have committed to our nation that we shall, by the end of January, dealt with the backlog. And I want to reiterate here today that it is possible, it is going to be done, and we are committed that we are going to do it. The Divisional Commissioner of Detectives and Forensics is amongst us. And I'm saying this because I know that's the commitment that she has put, and she is not going on leave with the whole biology team until the backlog is addressed. They haven't been on leave since March because this cannot go on. We are not intending to have another backlog, so they are here, they are going to work throughout. When others subsides, they will make sure that they are locked behind those machines to make sure that the backlog is addressed. I'm not going to repeat the statistics. The colleagues that came before me did share that, but I want to share with you what we're doing with our family violence, child protection, and sexual offenses unit colleagues with the desks that we have established at different police stations. Demand to see that desk. It may not be a desk, because I said to my colleagues, if you see a desk, immediately when you walk towards that desk, you are already wearing or hanging that this one is a victim of domestic violence, perhaps a rape. So people that are sitting there already see that this one is a domestic violence victim or is a victim of sexual assault or whatever. That desk needs to exist in a form of an individual that should come and give that hope, that should come and intervene, that should come and refer you to the victim-friendly space where you should be assisted as the victims. I want to further ensure that all victims are treated with respect, dignity, and interviewed by the trained police officers in a victim-sensitive manner. If that does not happen, report immediately. Do not wait for tomorrow. It needs to be addressed as soon as possible. Victims are assisted in the victim-friendly or an alternative space at all police stations, which is a private room. Victims are referred or taken for medical examination by a health professional. The investigation of these cases are conducted by colleagues from FCS who have been taught to be dedicated to this kind of cases, and they only do that. All related cases are in the FCS space. Minister, as I conclude, I would like everyone to be assured that SAPS registers its commitment in the fight against gender-based violence. Although I am speaking as a police officer, I am also speaking as a woman, as a mother, who understands the challenges of raising the children under a protective environment. Those that continue to make our women and children and boys victims of sexual assault and gender-based violence must really regret what they are doing. This is why, as part of the senior management of the South African Police Service, I am particularly passionate about creating a safe and secure environment, which is my constitutional mandate. And all colleagues that are here, that is what we commit to do. To our society, we want to bring hope, as it was said earlier, in ending the gender-based violence and femicide in most parts as a personal mission, because we cannot live in a country that treats women and children as disposable beings. South African Police Service plays a critical role in implementing the National Strategic Plan on Gender-Based Violence, the empowerment of women and respect for wives, for mothers, for daughters, for boys, for grandmothers. It's one of the cornerstones of a happy, secure nation and a secure family life and a harmonious society. Let us strive to educate communities and families to bring an end to violence against women and children in our organization. I thank you.
The General. We want women in every aspect of life in South Africa. Thank you very much. Without wasting time, I would like to introduce our Minister, Risha Patak. Harry, I will invite her after I will invite her after the minister has spoken. It's Minister Maite Nkwana Mashavani. Minister, in the presidency, we should always emphasize that minister in the presidency responsible for women. Women's issues are placed at the highest office. And let me tell you, she puts women's issues on the agenda every day. Every day. Minister, we thank you. We thank you.
Elilizwe elamakhosikazi asoze aphela amandla. Elilizwe elamakhosikazi asoze aphela amandla. Asoze aphela amandla. Asoze aphela amandla. Malibongwe igama lamakhosikazi. Program Director and our Director General in the Department of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities based in the Presidency, officials from all national and provincial government departments, in particular members of the Interministerial Committee, the National Interministerial Committee that DG had already enlisted, that which Lieutenant General comes from, Wekona, our partners in progress, led by Mayor Namtla, Commission for Gender Equality. I don't know whether I should call her my friend or my partner, but we've been through this together for a long, long time. Captains of industry gathered here today, both men and women, various non-governmental sector organizations, our brothers and sisters representing the LGBTQI community. We really all want to acknowledge the presence and the support we got from private business, in particular Anglo-American. I also want to say 16 days of activism, of no violence against women and children was started decades ago. It was just like, make a statement, then that will be enough. To a point where we went to, no, let's go marching, then they will see we mean business. Then we moved on to say, no, let's put billboards along the highways. It will make a difference. The billboards were written, look no other way. Do not turn a blind eye to this. This is reality. Violence against women in South Africa now added with gender-based violence and femicide. It's not a matter that really we can look the other way. This year, 2020, is the second time around that President His Excellency President of South Africa had at the helm presided over a summit that says, no, 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 enough, it's enough on gender-based violence and femicide. Many of us, we thought maybe just waking up every day and doing the crying, going to the funerals, right in the middle of COVID, going to homes where, as you enter the home, here in I was with my advisor. They kicked open the door, which was locked for some time, only to find that the man who was supposed to be a Mkwanyan and did not have a home to stay, had actually killed the daughter of the house, shoved her hair under the bed, and would have the nerve to lock her in and walk outside and come down. That was at the height of the lockdown of COVID-19. There was a day we woke up and went to the Cape Flats. That was long after the Unene painful saga and many other painful episodes. At Cape Flats, a 93-year-old woman was murdered by a 24-year-old boy, next door neighbor. The boy he took care of. Where were we going? We were on our way to the airport in order to get to Matatiele. What had happened in Matatiele? In Matatiele, a fourth-year student of law was murdered by her boyfriend, her jealous boyfriend, I would say. This boy didn't just murder her. He murdered her, I don't know with what, but he even had the nerve to go and buy new saw blades to saw her body into small pieces and put in a paper bag to deliver to the house. These things happened in one day. I think by that week or by that month, all of us were feeling like we all need to see psychologists. But what do? You tell them the story, they listen, but the job must go on. So this pain of gender-based violence and femicide is not just about stories. It's about real women, real females who are killed, yes, who are abused out there by people they don't know. Yes, let's blame it to drugs if they are treated in that manner by nobodies, by people they don't know. But many a times it's people that would be known to them, their acquaintance. Worse, it's the people they should feel very, very safe with, people they share a bedroom with. So, after the second summit on fighting with toxic masculinity, which took place in Senegal, I was sent there with delegation by the president. When we think other countries in Africa will be feeling sorry for us, they all say, South Africa, help us tell out the stories. It is not that it is not happening somewhere. It is because others do what we did 40 years ago. Keep quiet. Don't tell the world. What if they know this kind of a thing happened in this household? The biggest challenge for women, it's not that women do not take care of men. It is not that women undermine men. Women takes care of the household. Women, in fact, there will never be a human being if there were no men and women. So it takes a man and a woman to produce a living being. After that, the other one told that, you know, with masculinity, with toxic masculinity, you are stronger than this one. Even if you are not strong, you are okay. We signed all treaties internationally and even at home, even C19 of ILO, which we felt would also help in killing toxic, we say toxic masculinity. Because masculinity, if it was true, really it is about protection, shouldn't be about killing. Listening to the Minister of Police, who is in our IMC, saying, and I asked again today, are we saying the figures are going down? The stats of women being killed by men? The answer is no. Now, this is the other tactic we think it's at the hub of this, because if it is not that toxic masculinity says you are strong, but if Maite comes with a better or a higher salary at home, it makes you feel smaller. So kill Maite. Then that will make you feel good. How about this time around, pose the second summit on toxic masculinity? If we could start this and start to really mean it. Bring women on the 25th of November for the next coming 10 days to focus on dealing with gender-based violence and femicide in this manner, in doing expos, business expos. Let women, let's teach, let's work together with women to feed themselves, to expose themselves to generating income on their own, so that if it does not work, they walk away. We are not saying go home and divorce your husbands. But we are saying, if it's not working, don't stay, because if you stay while it's not working and you come with little but before we huela, can you first know how to run a business, a real business? So the exhibition behind these chairs where you are seated are about connect women, collaborate women, contract women, know each other, exchange each other's needs. When you need eggs, I have chicken. When you need handbag, you don't have to go to New York. You can get it from there. Recycled material. I saw the most beautiful handbags made by women in Mpumalanga and Ekangala, made of recycled material. So when we live here, DG, we want to continue making, to connect, to collaborate, and to contract. Because kunini silila, kunini, we going to funerals. Kunini, we're going to psychologists. to make us feel calmer and continue bearing. But if we can also be able to depend on ourselves. I live with my husband, with my boyfriend, because I want to, because I'm in love with. But when I see that things are beginning to look somehow, I must also have somewhere to go with my child. We shouldn't get caught up in that situation, because if we do not stay, so it's better if we just hang in there. One club, one night. If it is it la fall. Activism must also coming with us doing things with our bare hands. The other day, we went to GCIS to do a launch of people with disability with the Minister of Police. And then we were walking behind a journalist. I'm not going to expose her. Fortunately, she's not even here today. We say, but why don't you tell it like it is? Because maybe with journalists they can tell the truth. She said, hey, in the block where she lives, there's a woman, a very pretty woman, who screams every night. They actually wait for the time when she will start screaming. But if people come in their numbers to come and rescue her, she tells them to go away. Why? Because he says it will be sorted out, and indeed they will go. So she said they have themselves become victims because they wait for the time when she will be wailing, and then if she keeps quiet, then things are okay, then you know what, they'll go back to bed. We are here for advocacy for women to become economically self-empowered, to get access to finance, to be able to do things themselves, so that if they stay because they like. When they see justice, they know that we are not only going to report cases to rescue ourselves, but that we go there because we'll go there because it is the right thing to do. That when on the 10th of December, when we finish with the 16 days of violence against women, it will be the Human Rights Day. Human Rights Day is not Men's Day. It's men and women, because we also fought for human rights. We also fought for freedom in this country. Men and women. I am a mother of boys and girls, so I cannot favorite ke barata ka moka. Mara wa se khone to make up his bed, it's not my problem. Or and then feel good. He is going to be my problem. Like the Minister of Police had said to that daughter journalist of ours, tell your neighbor, if she keeps screaming and keeping quiet when this man beats her, the last time she screams, she will scream not anymore, because she will be dead. It will be, maybe the scream she gives is the last. So let's go talk to our people nicely. There is absolutely nothing private about being abused. Absolutely nothing. But there's a lot that we can do together if we connect, if we collaborate, if we work together, if we make use of all, if we learn all the skills where we will be self-sufficient and be able to stand on our own. And when 16 days of activism comes about, we are about to look around, look at our next door neighbor and say, hey, you know what? Sleep with him because you want to, because you chose to, not because you were hungry, not because you didn't know where else to sleep. So that's why we love Unamhla. Wakona helps us liberate women, not liberate them from their oppressors. Yes, they are oppressors, but make them become self-sufficient. Love because they want to. Why can't women love because they want to, like men love because they want to? But also, why do only women only, die in the statistics? You don't hear. They say even men are, I heard somebody saying, even men are abused. Was it you, Lieutenant General? Even also men are abused. But how many die? Very little. I'm not saying let's equalize, but 99% of people who die because they're abused are women. Can women, can youth, can disabled people, can people with people who are LGBTQI not get what we call corrective rape? Can they just be whoever they want to be so that we all enjoy this South Africa that we fought for, that we all call home? Today we are here, yes, not marching, not wailing, but connecting, making sure that we learn skills from each other, that we move every year. 16 days of no violence against women come, we will be moving with Wakona, with private sector, with other partners who want to join us, to make sure that with other partner departments, and all thanks also to COGTA, no one should say or should feel left behind. Take advantage of what you see as a business opportunity so that you do not sleep for a living, but you do that because you want to, and that you self-liberate because women know how to love. They know true love and they know how to share. So let's first share skills, the know-how. Let's buy from each other. I have my 100 rand. I want to buy something with my 100 rand before I leave this room. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister. I just want to repeat the theme: socio-economic rights and empowerment to build women's resilience against gender-based violence and femicide. Connect. This gives you a platform to connect, as Minister has said. Collaborate. As long as we work in isolation, we'll never be big business. Big business has got many partners who bring different skills, and then contract. So whether you contract amongst each other or you contract, with big businesses, whatever, all those, as indicated that this is the first, we've tried to bring buyers and all those, but it's not the last. We're going to host provincially, so that we can facilitate market access, but also provide a network for women to connect, collaborate, and contract. This theme, you can use it. No one owns it. We started with connect, collaborate, and contract in August, because we were planning to host a big trade fair at the FNB. The FNB stadium was very expensive, where our department suffers the same fate that women suffer. It's a poor department, so we couldn't afford to host it there. However, others like your Women Business Alliance, they've been going ahead and using the theme socio-economic empowerment and connect, collaborate, and contract. So go ahead and use that theme. Before I call our next group or person is Risha Patak Hari. I lead self-defense, Miss Risha Patak Hari. Can you please come and show women how they can defend themselves? Remember, violence starts from, and this is where we need to do something. Violence starts from primary school. Have you heard, I think it was in Cape Town, where a 7-year-old shot and killed or stabbed a 6-year-old. How do we stop gender-based violence like that? Because the criminal justice system can't do anything with that. So it's important that as we talk gender-based violence, but also at home and in our communities, we need to do something to stop gender-based violence. Okay, Rishka, before you come, there's a team of young persons that are going to come here. They want to take the chairs here in front and put them here so that they can also see and observe, and also because all of us are at risk of gender-based violence, we must all know how we can protect ourselves. So that's what she's going to do. Charlene and your team, can you please come and take the chairs, and then the minister and the team will go and sit here. And before, I would just like to ask all members of the police, of the South African Police Services, can you stand up? They are here in numbers. They are coming to support us. Yo, look at them. Yoo, beautiful. 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 So you can join the police force. You don't have to wear the uniform always, ne? Yeah, look at them. You know what? They're like modelers. Thank you so much. All of you. Thank you so much. Whilst they're still preparing here, for lunch, persons with disabilities, you know the kiosks, have been told that you know the kiosks that have been prepared for you out there. For lunch, you go there, and then everyone else goes to Hall 7. And lunch is going to be 45 minutes because we have, wasted lots of time earlier on. I'll tell you what would be 45 minutes when they finish here. But all of you are beautiful, as I said. Oh, guys, please go and buy. The purpose of today is so that we can buy. You remember, ne? Please go and buy. There are so many stalls out there. Please go and support. There are cakes, there's tea, there's juice, there are beautiful scarf, crosser attires and whatever. We have provinces, we have Western Cape, they also brought their things, Mpumalanga, Eastern Cape, Gauteng province, Northwest. Some of them are coming very far, so please guys, let's buy, let's support them. And let me tell you, some, don't say you don't have cash, they can tap. Some you can use e-wallet and you can buy using cash. Thank you very much. Thank you.
everyone.
Testing. I think this works. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Risha, the founder of I Lead Self-Defense. This is Coach Riona, and today we are going to be taking you through some very, very interesting self-defense techniques that is going to help you prevent a violent situation from happening. And if you're unable with all your safety efforts to prevent the violence from occurring, we're going to show you some really great self-defense techniques that will get you away from the danger and will get you to safety. So before we move forward, I want to thank our volunteers that have joined us from the audience today. If anyone would like to come and join the class, please come through. Please feel free to come through. Okay, so let's start. Let's get into this. Okay, the first thing that we need to remember is that more often than not, if our eyes are open, we can avoid a bad situation before it even gets to us. So building a sense of awareness and building our sense of safety goes a long way in helping us to avoid an attack. So what is the bad guy or the attacker looking for? Okay, and this, I'm speaking about a general street situation. When you are walking on the street in an unsafe area, they are looking for a soft target. So we need to understand, how do we avoid being soft targets? One way to do that would be to spot the danger before it gets to you. Okay, so we need to understand thank you for joining us. We need to understand what is our personal space and how do we keep our personal space safe. Okay, if you look over to Coach Riona, you're going to see she will demonstrate, and for those of you who want to participate in the crowd, please stand up and join us. So in order to understand personal space, if everyone can, yes, put your hands out to either side, and also put your hands out to the front and back of you. You see this circle that Riona is creating here. Okay, Coach Riona is creating a circle. All of our lovely volunteers have created the circle. This is your area to protect and keep safe at all times. Whether you're out with friends, whether you're out with family, this is for you to protect. So when we're speaking about self-defense techniques later and keeping the perpetrator away from our personal space, this is what we are talking about, okay? Protect this space. It is so important. The next thing we want you to learn is your most powerful weapon. What is our most powerful weapon? Okay? Our most powerful weapon is our voices. Okay? When you are being attacked, shout with attitude, shout with volume, and scream out commands. Leave me alone. Get away from me. Call the police. Okay? So right now we're going to do a short exercise. Okay? I'm going to go 1, 2, go. And I want everyone to scream with attitude aloud. No! Okay. 1, 2, go. No! 1, 2, go. No! 1, 2, go. No! Fantastic. Okay, if we use our voices and shout out, it's going to add power to your strikes. It's going to make your strikes faster, it's going to make your strikes harder, and you're going to be able to get out of that dangerous situation and get to safety fast. It also does not signify fear. It shows confidence, it shows strength when you are in that situation, and it also shows the attacker that you will fight for your life. You will not sit back and take this. Okay, Moving on, we have now learned verbally how to push an attacker away. We've learned physically how to keep them out of our space and away from us, okay? The attack, we believe, begins before it becomes physical. So, if we can get ourselves out of there, that is the first prize, to get away and get yourself to safety. If you can't, okay, for any reason, let's quickly recap. A bad guy, your attacker, does not want somebody to see them coming. So look alert, pay attention, okay? Pay attention to everything that is happening around you. Have strong body language, okay? The next thing, they don't want somebody that's going to make a noise. So shout, use your voices, okay? And the third thing is they do not want somebody that's going to fight back or defend themselves, protect themselves. So if you are in that situation, you're going to strike fast, you're going to strike hard, and you are going to get yourself out of there as fast as possible. So let's move on now. I hope the group is ready to learn some self-defense techniques. When we are in a physical confrontation, sometimes, no matter how much you've looked around and you've paid attention to what's going on, the threat is on top of you, okay? The bad guy, the attacker has gotten to you, he's holding you down. You need to be able to create an opportunity and get away, okay? And the way to do that is number one, protect your space, protect your personal space. Number two, the minute you feel that threat coming towards you, lock your legs in place, okay? I'm standing now very casually, as you can see. What we are gonna do, and if everyone can follow me here, put one leg at the back, one leg at the front, okay? These are your wheels, you're locking them in place. And the reason we do this is so that we cannot be pulled and manipulated in a situation. Whether it's pulling by our hair or grabbing by our shirts and pulling us, we want to be able to stand strong and stand balanced so that we don't get pulled to the floor and hurt further. So the first thing you're going to do is stand strong. One leg in front of the other, okay, shoulder width apart with a slight angle. And from here, bend it a little bit. That'll give you a lot more balance, okay? As you can see, Coach Riona has got her hands up already. And here, her elbows are inwards, okay? The reason our elbows are in and our hands are up, this is non-threatening. This is not, I'm ready to fight you. This is, I'm blocking my face, I'm trying to protect myself, stay away, okay? So that is what we want to be non-threatening. We don't want to aggravate the situation. Remember, if you can de-escalate and get out of there, okay? Get out of the situation, get to safety. Here, from this position, fantastic. You can see if you can have a bend there. Excellent. So we've got a bend in our legs, we've got our hands up, okay? And from here, what we can do is you can protect and you can strike, okay? So you can protect by blocking your body. If a strike is coming towards you, you can block, okay? And you can also strike using the heels of your palms. Yes. So, okay, let's learn how to use our body as a weapon. We've got our hands, we've got our elbows, right? And can everybody see this sharp, pointy spear that you've got here? So put your hands up, feel this, it's strong, okay? The same thing with your knees, you've got a spear here, but you have to be at close distance. So now, we're gonna show you how to push your attacker away. Okay, if you're in that situation, somebody is coming towards you, and we're going to demonstrate, Coach Riona will demonstrate with me very quickly. So in this situation, I've got plenty of time. That is what, like 4 to 5 meters at least. I can get out of the situation. I can run. It's as simple as that. I can turn, and I can run and get myself out of there. If for any reason she's closer, she's coming closer, I'm going to start. Use your voice. Stay away, okay? Use your voice, create that distance, maintain that distance, okay? If you can't, and the danger is upon you, can we stand and do it? Okay? We're gonna stand. Whoever is practicing with us, we want you to this is a push. You're gonna push the person away from you. And for all of you, if you can feel this really bony part at the bottom of your palm, that is what you're striking with. So use it and hit for your own nose, okay? That'll help you understand the power of this strike. You're gonna push with the bottom of your palm, okay? Right, so extend your hand. All you're gonna do is extend forward, okay? And bring it back to protect your face. Extend forward, bring it back to protect your face, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna hold a strike mitt, and I wanna hear you scream a loud no, okay? And strike, push this person away. Good, no. No. Great, go. Fantastic, let's try. No. Great. No. Yes. No. Excellent. Let's go. No. No. Excellent. No. Remember, keep your legs strong, stand strong, so you don't get pulled. Again, strike. No. Great. Okay, so as you can see, these are volunteers from our audience that have joined us. And this is a very simple technique to learn. You are going to push the person away and keep them away. Keep your hand back so that you're protecting your face. All right, so that is a push strike. If somebody has confronted you, okay, and they have grabbed for your shoulder, they have grabbed for your shoulders, they've grabbed for your shirt, they've grabbed you by your hair, and they're trying to pull you away, okay? From this situation, even if they've grabbed your hand, you still have your other hand available to step in and strike, okay? So, all right, so that is using the heels of our palm, okay? The next thing we want to show you is your elbows. Your elbows are very strong. You can use your elbows to the side, throw it out to the side, throw it to the back. For the purpose of this exercise, you are going to bring your elbow down to your chest, okay? And then you're going to swing it around. Watch Coach Riona. Coach Riona is going to get that elbow to strike for the face. Okay, so again, hands up. Bring it down to your chest. And then swing across. Excellent. Hands up, bring it down to your chest, and swing across. Great, so everyone practice that. Okay, one swing motion. You're gonna swing and hit. Right, good. Excellent, we'll try one more time. Great, right, that is good. Okay, so keep your hands up, protect your face, and then swing across. Much better, much better. Much better. Right, wonderful. Right? Okay, you want to turn sideways, then our audience can see. Right? Yes. Yes. Fantastic, fantastic. And remember, that is excellent. Remember, you're going to aim for you. Yes, yes, the pokey part. The pokey, that's fantastic, phenomenal. You want to give it a try? Let's go. Excellent. Right. And you're aiming for that face, okay? So we are using the hardest parts of our body to strike the softest and most vulnerable areas of our attacker, okay? And that will buy us enough of seconds to get yourself away and to safety. The last one that we're going to show you is your knees, okay? Your knees are very strong and they can be used close distance, okay? Here, your knee can actually be picked up straight for the groin, okay? Or it can even be used to the inner thigh. So grab, strike for the inner thigh. The reason we strike for the inner thigh is because it's just as effective and just as painful. Okay, so when you're learning to do your knee, you're going to pretend there's an imaginary attacker. Grab, pull that person in and strike with your knee. Okay? Right, pick your knee up. Right, pick your knees up and push in with your hip. Excellent, right? Yes. So remember, you are grabbing and you're pulling them in and hitting them with your knee, right? Try, give it a try, let's see how it goes. Right, so pretend you're gonna grab me here, pull me in. Right, now remember, this is excellent, this is excellent, okay. So remember, you're going to hold the person and then pull in, right? Okay, so remember, when you're doing this technique, hold and then pull in. Okay. We want to take you through actual assault scenarios. Okay, if this creates any trauma responses, we do apologize for that. We are going to take you through a stranglehold and being attacked from the front. And we're going to show you how, using these simple techniques that you've just watched now, how you can defend your body and how you can get to safety. Okay. So we'll come back to the knees, right? So, in this situation, right, there's a few things that can happen to you. Again, if somebody, we've learned how to use our elbows, okay? If somebody has grabbed you, I'm going to put this mic down for the purpose of this demonstration. And I'm going to demonstrate somebody grabbing you from the front and how you will defend against it. We're all going to practice afterwards, okay? This is what you have just learned. So, everyone that is practicing with us, I will count and you will do it with me. Let's do it together. Everyone stand strong. Okay? Hands up, block your face. Okay, block your faces. We'll start with our left hand. Strike, bring it back. Okay? Strike with the right hand, bring it back. Okay? Grab, pull into a knee, elbow. Okay? I want you to say it with me, okay? Strike, strike, knee, elbow. Say it, scream it, and let's do it together. Okay. Okay, loud, like hands up. Strike, strike, grab, knee, elbow. No, no. Okay, let's try it again. Strike, strike, grab, knee, elbow. Great. One more time. Strike, strike, grab, knee, elbow. Excellent, right? Y'all are going to partner up together now. Let's see. How many do we have? Let's grab partners. Partners, partners. There we go. All right. What we will do, okay, one side is the attacker, one side is the defender, okay? Attackers on this side, defenders on this side, right? Attacker, defender, attacker, defender. My attackers, right? You're the attacker. You're going to reach and grab for the hand, okay? Okay, reach and grab your friend's hand. Okay, practice grab like you are attacking and grabbing. Yeah, there we go. Remember, stand strong, strike, strike until they release that grip. Okay, then grab, pull into a knee and elbow. Let's try it. All right, let's not hurt each other. That's excellent. Okay, for those of you who are joining us, excellent. We practice. We've got a very short session here, but in an I-Lead class, you will get exactly enough time to prepare for this. So, again, let's partner up. Okay, you are going to grab my friend's hand, right? You are going to immediately go into a strong position. Stand strong, right? Put your hand up, protect your face, right? Now she's pulling you, okay? Now go with the don't fight the energy. Move into her space and strike for the face. There we go. Yes. Now remember, you need to be close enough to strike. So we get close enough so we can strike. There we go. Right, strike, and then you're going to follow once she lets go of that grip. We're going to follow with an elbow and a knee. Lovely. Let's go through one more scenario. If somebody is attacking you, you're in a threatening situation, and they're throwing punches or strikes at your face, how would you protect yourself? The first thing you can do is put your hands up immediately, exactly as Coach Riona is doing. Elbows forward so that you can block your face. This sharp pointy bit is going to stop me. Even if I'm throwing punches, I'm going to be throwing punches there at these elbows, okay? So protect yourself by putting your elbows up, okay? We're going to keep your hands together. Fantastic. So this is a block, okay? Excellent. So I'm going to just test this out. Let's see. Stand strong. Remember your stance. Stand strong. Okay? I don't want to be able to get through, so keep it together. Excellent. Okay, again. Yes. See how strong that is. And even if I come from the sides, it's the same thing, right? Okay? Excellent. Nice and strong. Okay. In this scenario, Coach Riona is going to come punching at me slowly so we can take you through the technique. Okay. So here, I see the thread coming. Strike, strike, strike. Okay, so ladies, what we've just learned again, pick your hands up, block your face, right? Somebody is coming towards you, wait for them, they will be punching within your space. Close the gap. Yes, yes. You can use the heel of your palm. That's better. Yes. So you're going to grab my hand, use the heel, and push me away, right? So let's partner up and try that technique. Let's partner up. Remember, keep your elbows close, yes? Right, you blocking, you're punching. There we go. You're gonna wrap your arm over. It's that simple. So make space, get inside there. Yes, now face her. Yes. Now if you are facing the attacker, remember, I love your dance, but, but listen, if you are facing the attacker and you need to strike, it's going to be, you're attacking. Would you please attack me and then I will block you? Okay, I'm going to block. I'm going to move in and grab. See here? I'm grabbing this hand. Now more often than not, you're going to be punching that way. So if you're punching at me, I will hook my hand around you like that. Come in, strike, strike, strike. Get myself away and to safety. Okay? Right. Have you all practiced? Okay, wonderful. Okay. So, let's very quickly get back into, if you've completed there. Okay, get back into your strong stance. I'm going to call out some drills. We're going to learn these techniques one last time, and then we close the class. Okay, so everybody stand strong. Put your hands up. Okay, we're going to do it slowly. I'm going to call out drills, and you'll follow. So I will say, palm strike. Extend your hand and bring it back, right? Palm strike. Extend, bring it back. Great, scream aloud, no. So you feel it, okay? Palm strike. No. Elbow. Yes, knees. Knees. No. Okay, elbow. No. Palm strike. No. Palm strike. No. Palm strike. No. Elbow. No. Grab and pull into a knee. Great. Palm strike. No. Palm strike. No. Elbow. No. Knees. No. Excellent, excellent. Give yourselves a pat on the back. Thank you so much for volunteering with us. Thank you. If you have any questions. Thank you.
participants. They're saying for the sake of order, bakopa le duleng fatshe gore ba le ntshe ka di-groups. When you're going to be a long queue there will be a disorder. They won't be able to feed you. They're going to be fast. There's a huge hall. Everyone will be able to eat. There's enough food. So can we please sit down, and then the process of going to the hall will be guided. I'm still busy here. Emma moved there. O batla ke announce? Announcement, also important announcement. Someone left their car keys at the toilet. Can you please come up front here and tell us what kind of a car and how do the keys look like? Ladies' room, it's a lady, so it must definitely be a lady, even if it's a guy's car, but the person who left it there is a lady. So can someone come and identify the keys? Okay, those that are there at the back, you can't hear me because you are busy there. Someone left their key at the toilet, at the female's toilet. So can you come and identify, or tell us before you identify, tell us how your keys look like and the model of your car. I'm announcing for the last time. Someone left their car keys at the toilet. So can you please come and tell us before we give you the car? I hope the people who are supposed to guide people are guiding them. Oh, okay. So now we're going to order. Okay. Reload.
The people possess the power to change South Africa. We continue to move from reaction to action. South Africa's democracy is still grapples with the highest inequality and youth unemployment rates globally, and a significant portion of our population is living below the poverty line. A long-standing threat to our democracy is a scourge that is engulfed our homes and our communities, that is gender-based violence and femicide. Gender-based violence is a violent manifestation of gender inequality. To rid the society of gender inequalities, we need to ensure the effective participation and contribution of women and other marginalized groups in the societal economic and political spheres of our society.